All right, we solve equation system of inequality by graphing. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna get my tool over here. Okay. So take a look over here. The bound. So you have three tools over here. So three tools. Okay. So this one is for the boundary of the first inequality. This one for the second boundary. And the last one only used for shading. You shading for both. Okay, so let's do this. Here we go. So you can see over here, for this, y less than is the boundary had to be horizontal. Okay, it's very easy to figure that out. You go and you find the point -1 is right there. It had to be horizontal. Okay, so here we go. -1 horizontal. Okay, and now pay attention with the equal sign. With the equal sign, then the line had to be solid. Okay, solid. Okay, so we do the shading later. So now let's go to the second inequality. Now it's x. Okay, you go find x equal 1. It's right here. It had to be vertical. Okay. Ooh, they're both solid. Okay, that's cool. Because there's an equal sign. So this one also solid. Okay, so now let's do the shading. So I click on the shading tool. Okay, first I do the y less than. Y less than you shade below. All right. So you can see when you have two boundaries right here, actually it divide the space into 4 different space. You see that? 4 different space. Okay, so let's undo them all right here. Now y less than you shade below. Okay, below. Okay, so you click on that. And now you do for the x. So the x is bigger, is that right? You shade on the right side. So right here, the x when you shade on the right side, it had to be right here. You see that? So you shade, so make sure you click on both of these. Okay, so here, once right here. So you can see this area here, you shade twice, all right? This area right there, you shade twice. So this area actually the overlap, okay? So I go back to my shading tool over here. I undo this, and I shade that. So that would be the final answer because that is the overlap. It got shaded twice. Okay, so I submit. Voila, I'm done. All right. So now we wrap the boundary of y bigger or equal -6. It should be horizontal. Okay, so I go and find -6 on the y-axis, and then drag it on, make it horizontal. And as you can see, it should be solid because there's an equal sign. You see that? There's an equal sign right there. So therefore, this one had to be solid. Okay. Now wrap the second one. X bigger than -4. Okay. I go to the x-axis. I find -4. It had to be -4. It had to be vertical. Okay. Oh, it's still there. Very good. Thank you. All right. So let me click one more time. Then let's cancel out. All right. Y -6. Go to -6. Horizontal. Solid. Now switch to the other tool. Okay. -4. Vertical. But I have to click one more time to make it dash because there's no equal sign. You see here? No equal sign. It had to be dash. Okay, so this is dash. Okay, now let's do the shading. Okay, so take a look, click on the shading tool. Okay, so y bigger, then you shade above. All right, you see that? I use my tool. And now I do the x bigger than -4. I should shade on the right side. Okay. So now pay attention. I click on the right side. So let's do this over here. On the right side, it should be this. Is that right? Yeah. So make sure you shade all of them. Okay. So now click on that. Shade on the right side. I shade below here and then up here. So you can see this area is shaded twice, so it's overlap. Is that right? So overlap. So it had to be the answer. The answer had to be right here. Okay, so I get my 2 again. I undo the other one, and this is the final answer. Okay, so you use the shading tool as your advantage. And I submit. Voila. Voila. Okay. All right, for the first inequality, I go and find the b right there. The b equal 2 right there. And the slope is negative 3, all right? So the slope equal negative 3, which is negative 3 over 1. So I do down 3 and then right 1. Okay, so down 3, right 1, right there, and so on. Okay, go and get my 2. Okay, down 3, right 1. Okay, is it solid or dash? So I can see no equal sign, so it should be dash. So I click one more time, it becomes dash. Okay, so now if I shade it less than, I should shade below. All right, this is below. Okay, here we go. So we cannot use the shading tool yet until we're done 2 boundary. So click on the other boundary. Okay, so here we go. So you can see now the b is negative 4. Okay, so go and find negative 4. And then the slope is negative 1 over 9. Negative 1 over 9. It means down 1, right 9. Okay, so down 1 right there and right 9. Alright, done. Go and get my 2. First at negative 4, down 1, right 9. Okay, right there. And I can see it's solid because there's an equal sign. You can see that? There's an equal sign. So that's why it's solid. So now let's do the shading. Let's do the shading. Y less than is below. Ooh, below again. Okay. So here we go. Below. This is below. All right. So you can see this area should be the overlap. All right. This area right here, that should be the overlap. This is the overlap. Right there, overlap. Okay, so now I can use my tool, the shading tool. All right, let's do the first inequality again. Okay, it's below. Okay, below, below. All right, and now for the second one, it's also below. So here, the second one, look, I already shade in green. You can see here, below, below. So you can see this is the overlap. I click it twice, so it's gone. So it is the overlap. So now I undo everything and I click on the overlap only. Okay, and now I'm done. Submit. Voila. That's it, you guys. Thank you so much.